I sat down with the police officer. I was incredulous.
Kevin Planton recalls an utter shock when in January 2021, he was arrested by the Hanover Sheriff's Office for alleged sex crimes against his own daughter.
I said, all I know is that I'm innocent.
Planton's daughter has nonverbal autism, and in 2020, during the pandemic, he says her private occupational therapist practiced a communication technique with her called facilitated communication, or FC. It's where a facilitator physically supports a person's hands or wrist to assist them in pointing to letters on a keyboard to spell out words. And at first, it gave Planton great hope.
And suddenly she went from exclusively autism classes to a 7th grade mainstream, getting straight A's, winning a national award for her poetry. I was elated. I thought it was a miracle.
But his belief that it was truly his daughter writing her own words crumbled when law enforcement confronted him with a letter that was typed through FC on an iPad in which she accused him of sexual abuse. Court records show the letter was reported to the sheriff's office by the child's mom, whom Planton was divorced from.
And that was enough for them to arrest me and charge me with 4 mandatory life sentences of rape and sodomy of a child 13 or under.
Planton was initially denied bond, causing him to be jailed for 10 months on crimes he says he never committed.
Half my battle was just surviving jail, but half my battle was then, of course, my court case.
But when the case went to court and the judge ordered a test to assess the credibility of FC, Commonwealth's attorney Mackenzie Babichenko said the child's mother did not wish to go forward and she dropped the charges. The test would have been administered by Dr. Howard Shane, a Harvard professor who was the former director of the Center for Communication Enhancement at Boston Children's Hospital. He's a critic of FC who has studied it since the 90s.
On the medical side, the psychological side, the American speech and hearing side, it's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense.
Shane says he's conducted over 400 experiments called double-blind test.
I want you to tell me what you see.
In which he shows different photos to a facilitator and the child who are separated by a divider. But he says the facilitator would always type the photo that they saw and not what the child saw.
Is it that in reality, the facilitator is actually the one who's typing out this message?
Oh, absolutely. You know, if I show them one picture, I show them a boat and I show the child a spoon and I say, what did you see? Neither one saw what the other person saw, and out comes boat. I mean, how else do you interpret that?
Due to these issues surrounding the true authorship, Shane says facilitated communication is widely debunked across the scientific community. The American Speech Language Hearing Association's position statement calls it harmful and says it should not be used. Even the teachers at Planton's daughter's own Hanover Public School warned against FC, writing in the student's individualized education program that FC is not an evidence-based practice and will not be utilized or supported by HCPS staff. The IEP also states that the school's speech-language pathologist tried supported typing with the child on multiple occasions over 2 years, but the attempts were unsuccessful, and the student could only type strings of letters.
The Hanover teachers for special ed they're the heroes in this because they knew it wasn't real.
Planton feels that Hanover prosecutors and law enforcement lacked due diligence in vetting FC and argues they presented no corroborating evidence beyond the FC-typed words, which seems to be supported in court documents. The Hanover Sheriff's Office declined to respond to that, citing the sensitivity of the case and the age of the alleged victim. Babichenko tells me that she had no reason to believe it was not the daughter writing her own words, and that the case consisted of more evidence than just the typed complaint, to include disclosures of the allegations to 3 different people and involvement from Child Protective Services and a guardian ad litem. She felt she could still ethically move forward with the case as long as it was the desire of the child's mother. Babichenko adds the daughter was found by the court to be competent to testify and that there was some debate over whether her typing met the definition of FC, although the IEP does state that her communication method was identical to FC. That said, Babachenko did acknowledge what she believed to be limited recent research on the efficacy and nuances of the practice.
So my story, once I learned about it, it was like, unfortunately, a terrible situation, but I wasn't alone. I wasn't the first parent to go through these allegations produced by FC. So yeah, please do your research.
Planton's record has since been expunged, and now he wants Virginia to adopt an official position on facilitated communication, much like health agencies in New York have done. There, a health department report noted that its use had led to ethical and legal issues, including accusations of abuse.
I'll keep fighting. I'll keep fighting for her. My problems are, whatever I went through is nothing compared to, the challenges of autism and overcoming some just junk science like this.
Now, Planton did take civil action against several involved parties, and while a federal judge did not opine on the legitimacy of facilitated communication, she did dismiss his claims that the sexual abuse allegations were improperly and maliciously investigated and reported. We reached out to the child's occupational therapist, and she declined to comment, and we also reached out to the child's mother to seek her perspective, but we did not hear back. I'm Tyler Lane for CBS 6 News.